Amanda Milford, and I'm going to be a fifth-year senior. I'm majoring in zoology and Spanish, and I studied abroad on the Florence Honors Program in Italy and a semester in Seville, Spain. And I want to talk about academics a little bit. In Sevilla, there are 3 different types of courses you can take depending on which one you test into, what level. And you can take university courses at the University of Sevilla. There's cursos para extranjeros, and then there's just classes at the CIE Center. I took all my classes at the CIE Center. They're with 10 to 25 students, and they're taught by Spanish professors. All the classes, no matter what kind of classes you take, they're in Spanish. I really liked the classes that I had, and the university classes are with Spanish speakers, native Spanish speakers, and they're taught, obviously, by Spanish professors. If you go through CIE, they help you out though and get a tutor. But those classes last a month longer than the CIE courses or the cursos. And the cursos para extranjeros are the last type, and those are in the university, but they're with other study abroad students. So in the university setting, but not with the native Spanish speakers. And there's 2 different types of, I guess, program options at the Sevilla program. There's the ALA or LA, and ALA stands for Advanced Liberal Arts, and LA is Liberal Arts. And there's sort of a confusion, I guess, between the 2, but I'm trying to clarify it. Advanced Liberal Arts is usually for more advanced Spanish speakers, and we require a higher prerequisite of Spanish going into that. And if you get accepted into that program and test well on their placement test, you're required to take university classes at the University of Sevilla with the native Spanish speakers. For LA, the liberal arts, you're not required to, but if you test high enough, you are allowed to. It's optional. So, and then it somewhat differs between CIE offers group trips. And for the LA option or the ALA option, you usually go with members of the same group. So if you have friends in one or another, you might not be on the same trip, and sometimes the trips differ. But I would think about yourself and what kind of things you like, what kind of city you like, what kind of housing arrangement you would like. If you're interested in having learning language as an additional challenge and opportunity in your study abroad experience, because it really adds to the experience, I thought. But yeah, all those things, if you think about yourself, then it helps you pick a better program to suit you, and you get a better experience out of it. So my best experience abroad is in general the homestay that I had. I love my Spanish host mom. We were her first students. Her name's Carmen, and she's a senora, which is like an older Spanish woman. And so a super motherly figure. I got to meet all her family. I'm good friends with her and her family, and it's just a second home away from home for me. And so it's with the technology as it is, and with Carmen as my host mom, I really didn't get all that homesick, because you have a second home there. Study abroad has changed me in more ways than one, but one way is it really exposes you to the rest of the world and makes you think about it, and that the American way, the Midwestern way where I'm from, isn't the only way of doing things. There's no one right way of doing things. I lived in a homestay, like I said before, with a senora, and with the CIE program that I was on, she cooked meals for us and did our laundry, and I got my own room. Usually, at least in spring semester, we had roommates, but we each had our own room. And yeah, I lived in an apartment building. There's not really usually separate houses in Sevilla. It's a bit larger city, and it's not the style of living there, so an apartment. I studied abroad before in Florence, and afterwards I chose to travel Europe, so I'd already seen a lot of Europe, and I was more interested in getting to know the surrounding countryside, the surrounding pueblos and everything like that. So I stuck more around southern Spain. And I really, if you're up for it, I really recommend doing it, because part of studying abroad is getting to know the people and the culture of that specific area really well. It's not just being a tourist in the city for a few days, so it was an added bonus to my experience. However, lots of people do travel. Seville has an airport and buses that are easily accessible, but I mean, it's not as big a hub as Madrid, say, but people definitely went places.